welcome back. Time for the big bout, the great debate. Boyd Urban taking me on here. I'm going to argue the bear case on Hasbro. Well, we just had Brian Goldner, the boss, 45 years old, the boss of that company, transformed it with the Transformers movie that took in $750 million. And, of course, the #2 movie in that series is opening up this summer. Of course, they're across the board, though. Littlest Pet Shop, a huge franchise as well, very strong in girls' toys, too. Mattel has Barbie, and Barbie has been a fading star in recent years, but Hasbro successfully reignited the My Little Pony franchise and Littlest Pet Shop. This stock is still up almost 10% in the past 5 years. I mean, that's incredible. Very few blue-chip stocks you can say that about. Although it has been under pressure, Q4 numbers were very weak. They were down. Profit was down much more than analysts had expected. Let's get over. There is the 5-year chart. You can still see it's still up in the past 5 years. My opponent, of course, Boyd Urban. Boyd, great to see you again.
Well, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm raring to go.
You're ready to go. And our guest for today, a very astute retail observer, Rick Pennycooke of the Lakeshore Group. Rick, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Going to talk to you very, very soon. Well, let's get right at it. And I think, I'm not sure, Boyd, if you want to go first or...
why don't I have the last word? It just seems fair.
There's plenty of knocks against the toy industry, so I'm going to take it away. Well, I'm kind of out of season with this one, but you could well find yourself in the land of misfit toys if you were to go with Hasbro. There's a danger that you're on a treadmill, you're on a cycle here, that you could find yourself in betting on a stale product cycle. There's rising signs of inventory all around the world. That came out in those disappointing Q4 numbers. And finally, they face a major headwind in this high US dollar because their costs are basically incurred in US dollars. They pay for stuff through Hong Kong dollars, and in many cases, and those are linked to the US currency. I think we just put Boyd's board up, so we should get the dog board up. I'm going to say it's scary, and this really is from JP Morgan. JP Morgan have a neutral on the stock. They warn that typically the toy industry operates on 3 to 5 year cycles. In other words, a toy is hot for 3 to 5 years. We just heard Brian Goldner, the CEO, tell us they've managed to fix that by going online. Probably remains to be seen. Now, the toy industry itself is under secular threat, though, from video games. Kids love video games, and it seems they can never be too young. So, arguably, Hasbro has had these hits on the girls' side with My Little Pony and Littlest Pets. They may be extra vulnerable. Unsold toys are piling up. Inventories at Hasbro and at retail were up 14% in Q4. And finally, they face a major headwind in the shape of the currency. 40% of their sales are international. US dollar going up makes them less competitive.
Wow, you are no fun.
I'm miserable. Children don't need toys. No, send them down the coal mines. Carry on.
Well, there's no money there either. Listen, I like this stock right here for a couple of reasons. One, you kind of hit on it, actually, that the stocks in the toy industry are quite cyclical, and you got to get in just before a few good launches, and you can ride them for a while. And, you know, the stock is only marginally up over 5 years, which, as you say, isn't bad. But these are timing plays, and I think the time is right here with Hasbro with what's going to happen at this company in the next year. Two, you know, the raw material costs, there's a lag there, and you're right, there's some currency issues, but that's going to come to them later in the year, and especially as you see the US dollar cool off. That is not going to continue that hot US dollar against commodity. So, you know, you've got that, and then you've got a really good manager, the fellow you had on earlier. He is making the tough calls. He is pruning the divisions that don't work. They closed their tween electronics division because it wasn't working out. They are, you know, blowing out inventory now. They're taking a bit of a bath post-Christmas. They're shortening that inventory list. So, you know, they're doing the right managerial things to set this company up for what should be a very good year when you look at the product lineup that they have coming, because they're adding great boys' toys and, you know, traction on the boys' side to what you already highlighted, which is a great franchise on the girls' side. So this company is a little bit smaller than it was, but it's also a little bit cheaper, and I think you're just poised to get in on one of those waves. You know, if we were talking about would you buy this for the long term, 10 years, 15 years, I don't know that I would, because toy companies are tough calls. But given what they've got coming in the next little while, I'd buy it here.
The problem is that you're buying into a company that has struck it lucky or smart in the past couple of years, but nobody can keep it up forever. They are going to have a big summer. I mean, at least one or two of those big three movies, Wolverine, Transformers and G.I. Joe, will be a turkey. But, you know, one is probably going to be a hit, and they will book a load of toy sales. But after that, 2010, what's actually going to happen? We do know.
See, that's the thing. They've got a couple more movie tie-ins coming in 2010.
Well, they got Candyland coming. Candyland,
Monopoly game movie. There's going to be some good ones. You're right. There'll be turkeys, but it's like investing, you know, producing toys. You want to just have more winners than losers, and you hit right on my killer blow. It's a killer lineup. You've got G.I. Joe, which is tremendous pent-up demand, will drive a lot of toy sales. I mean, people have been looking forward to that kind of movie for years. There was a bad cartoon a long time ago that everybody watched, and they're looking forward to something with some real special effects. You know, you've got Wolverine, which is building on an extremely successful X-Men franchise. So these are great movies. You've got Transformers, which again, these are going to drive toy sales, and they've shown that they've learned to nail this. And you know what? The kids that go to these movies, they're not discerning. Their parents may sit there and squirm and think, boy, this is a dud. The kids are going.
The problem as well, though, is that they're coming out in summer, and we know there's probably going to be a lot of economic despair in summer. Maybe things will be better by next holiday season. It brings me on really to my killer blow, and I think I'm first with my killer blow tonight. I'm going to say the new reality is we're looking at what could be a depression, what's going to be a very, very tough economic go. Goldner, the boss, has already cut back. I think he may have even killed this product. He's not pushing it big time. Last year he had a $240 robot dinosaur out there, and no more. He's now saying there's going to be less of that. Right now the big push is for a $55 robotic kitten. So he's going to be lucky to get $55 for his mangy cat. Forget $240. He just can't sell products for a high price. There's no way he's going to be booking big profits.
As long as he can get the margins, he'll be okay, and that's why I just want to go back to my killer blow, that killer lineup. You know, you've got those three great movies coming out, of three great franchises. They may not be great movies, but they're great franchises. I think that will drive toy sales. I think you'll see a lot of parents looking at movies as a reasonable way to get the kids out of the house
in
an economic malaise. And yeah, you'll have lower ticket toy sales, but as long as they can maintain the margins, that shouldn't be a problem.
Hasn't shot its bolt. I mean, that's the risk. You've also got the material costs apparently coming down a lot slower. I mean, they will come down. Obviously, oil prices will eventually translate into lower plastic prices. This higher US dollar, though, you can't rule that out. Something like 40% of Goldner's sales are now international. He's just been caught in a vice here. Perhaps it's a weird run-up in the US dollar. Perhaps it's illogical, but it looks like it's going up for the next while.
Well, I don't know about that. There's a lot of people think it's going to come down in the next year. I think that might be the surprise boost to the bottom line. But I guess we'll leave it up to our esteemed judge here to tell us who won the SmackDown.
Rick, we've got Hasbro stock just under $24 today. Would you buy it, anticipating it'll be up a year from now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to have to give this one to Boyd. I think I agree that this is not something that I'd be holding for a long time. But clearly with the agreements and the lineup they have for the next year, a year or two, I think is going to bode well for them. You know, they're not sitting on their hands as well. They're even, you know, pushing these family games night themes that they're rolling out as well to push their board game side of things. But the toy side, I think, with these movie tie-ins for certainly the next 2 years, I think is going to win the day for them. I mean, admittedly, Andy, it is a tough call. I mean, rising inventories are always a scary thing. The rising U.S. dollar in this type of industry is really scary. But I think I've got to give the edge to Boyd today.
Rick,
So much for that hiding, Mr. Guy.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, you know, Tuesdays don't count, Boyd. And,
I see. I never read the fine print.
You know that as well as I do. And, anyway, Rick, any gossip out there, especially in retail land?
Well, you know, the thing that flies under the radar is, and something that I deal with a lot in my business is, a lot of retailers are laying off their real estate departments. And that's really important because their real estate people are the people that are going out finding new sites and doing lease deals and doing lease renewals. So if these people are being laid off, it means that there are no plans for any new stores, any lease renewals, you know, over the next year or two. And, you know, just my list, you know, Carlton Cards, Rogers, even Rogers Communications, we had heard that good announcement about their performance, but them and Payless and Staples and Second Cup have all decimated their real estate department. So it's got to tell you something, and I think that people that help you research the show, you may want to take a look at what's happening in the real estate departments of the retailers, and it'll tell a story.
That's fascinating, Rick. That's a pretty ominous sign right there by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Oh, always a pleasure, guys.
That's Rick Pennycooke, president of the Lakeshore Group. Thanks very much, Rick, and to you too, Boyd. Thanks for
always good to be here, and even better to win.
Thanks. See you soon.
You bet.
Boyd Ehrman of the Globe and Mail. Stick with us. When we come back, we're going to be talking about gold prices, and in fact, the strength of the US dollar has been masking to some extent a huge rally in gold. We'll have more on that after the break.
With the global economic outlook worsening and manufacturing data in Canada putting all on edge, will Central Bank Governor Mark Carney change his projections anytime soon? Catch our interview live on Squeeze Play tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern.
TD Waterhouse Discount Brokerage presents Better Tools, Better Trades. Get the edge with investment tool number 12. Our powerful trading platforms. Streaming level 2 market data. Advanced charting. And fast one-click order entry. All of these tools and many more are yours for as low as $7.